wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah.
And so to that I'm going to be using 1.5 teaspoons of mixed spice. So is the mixed spice, does that fit in? No. Right, let's go for 3 half ones then. You can use ground cinnamon, nutmeg, but if you've got the mixed spice and you've got the whole lot here. Right, and then to that you are adding 600 mils of milk. I mean, I've got semi-skim too, it can be whatever you want it to be. And that I'm just going to leave for a little while to soak into that bread. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a mix. Try to get some of that bread down into that milk. And then I'll be back in a moment to get my hands dirty. Right, so after a little while you want to get your hands in, make sure obviously you've washed them and they're nice and clean, and it's time to sort of squelch everything together. Ooh, this is a little bit of a workout to do this. Squelch it all, keep squelching it all up together until it's like just like a whole wet stodgy mess. You want to break it all down like this. This is what it needs to be, all broken down. So I'm sort of getting there, very slowly, but I'm getting there. So the finer that you cut your bread, actually the better. I'm going to turn this around and work from that side now. So break up all those bits of bread. I think that's mostly done. So I think that is probably going to do it for me. I now need to wash my hands again. And then to that I'm adding 140 grams of light brown muscavado sugar. So give that a mix. It's almost like you're making your Christmas cake, it's that dense. I now add 2 eggs, 2 beaten eggs. I'm just going to crack them into a cup here. your eggs, and then that then goes into the mixture. So it's a lot easier now to sort of like move around. Years ago this was a very economical sort of staple, wasn't it? I can remember my nan making this, and she just used to add all sorts to it. Sometimes she put some nuts in there, all sorts, whatever she had left in her pantry. Now I've got 100 grams of, well, I've got flora buttery. It can be butter, margarine. I'm just going to pop this in the microwave to melt it. Make sure the last little bits are just melted. There we go. So that is now going in as the last ingredient to go in. So just mix in your bit of butter or your margarine, as I say, and then this is what it's going to look like. And get yourself a nice sort of baking dish, deepish. Make sure it's very well buttered, and then just drop all your ingredients in. You can make that, if you put this in a bigger dish, you're going to get thinner slices. So it depends, you know, on what you want to put it in. So if you want thicker slices, go for a smaller but deeper baking dish. And then just level it all out. There we go. And then I just give it a little bang. Make sure that it's all evenly distributed and you've got any air bubbles out of the way. Then finally, I'm going to top it with a sprinkling of granulated sugar. So let's give it a little sprinkling of sugar on the top. That gives it that nice little crunch that you get with your bread pudding. This you can leave out, of course, if you want to, but just sort of showing you this is how I was taught to make it. There we go. Now I'm going to pop this into the oven at 160 fan. Now, generally I do it for about 90 minutes, but I will check it after 60 minutes and then sort of gauge roughly how much longer it's going to need. But it can take up to 90 depending on like your oven. So I'm just going to pop this in now. Right, so 60 minutes is up. I don't think this is cooked yet, but I will just try it. But as we go in, I can feel that it's actually not quite cooked, because you can see a little bit still on there. Yeah, it's not quite cooked. I'm going to put it back in the oven for, I think, 20 minutes. So this has actually cooled down quite a lot now, and I'm going to just cut it into the sizes. And of course it's up to you what size you want to cut this into, but it's a fairly filling dessert, or you know, a nice scrummy snack to have with a cuppa.
clutching nice, isn't it? Nice cream as well, isn't it?
Chris is here hovering, desperate to try a piece.
I'm not chief taster, remember?
Yeah, he's my chief taster, he says. So there we have it. Look how yummy this bread pudding is. This is going to be lovely with a cuppa. I will leave it to cool down even more, but it just looks absolutely glorious, doesn't it? Look at it. Yum. I'm going to pop that bit back in. When we've had our lunch, I'm going to come back, make a cuppa, and I'm going to have a piece.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah. Immature lover who don't use big words, yeah. I don't need convincing at all because I know what I want. Baby, can't you figure it out? What's going on in your heart? What's it gonna take for you to love me? What's it gonna take for you to show feels, yeah. I've been trying to take it slow, but my patience low. Think it's time you left.
Do you want a taste test then?
Yep, that's mine there.
Yeah. Right, so Chris is going to do a taste test.
Smashing. Yep, I like it.
Yeah?
Yep,
It's still a little bit warm, isn't it?
nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what
No.
I'm saying. It's, yeah. Right, let's go and indulge.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Bye.